And welcome to Value Line's webinar series. My name is Jason Weisberg, and I will be your host today for today's webinar. I am the Executive Vice President of Sales here at Value Line, and today we're going to be spending some time taking a look at the library service that Value Line offers to the various institutions around the country and around the world. We are proud to say we have thousands of academic and municipal libraries that are currently using our library services, and today we are going to focus on turning you into a pro using our pro services. What does that mean? It's going to give you some tips of the service, best practices, some of those popular features, and really allow you to assist your patrons to make sure they're maximizing the use of the subscription. Before we begin the presentation, just a few housekeeping items I'd like to discuss. First, we're going to run approximately 20 minutes for the presentation, and then at which time we will take some questions. You can submit questions via the Q&A feature on the WebEx platform, and I will be happy to address some of those questions in the last 5 minutes. Overall, we're looking to run about 25 minutes total of the presentation, including the questions. If you do not get a chance to get your question answered today, I will show you at the conclusion of the presentation how you can go online and submit a question to us, and we will certainly follow up quickly, an email or a phone call to answer your questions. Housekeeping item, just to note, if for some reason the audio portion gets cut out, WebEx had a few issues in our last few presentations, and if you hear some silence for a few moments, do not worry. I will call back in, and it'll only be a few seconds until it's reconnected. So on that note, let's dive in. What you're looking at on your screen now is the Value Line Pro webpage. This is where you'll go, valuelinepro.com, to find information on our services. So up here you'll see valuelinepro.com is the URL. Under the category right here, Library Services, is where you can come to learn all the different services that we offer. Today we're going to really focus on the equity portion of our research, but we also have mutual funds, options, ETFs, and convertibles, as well as model portfolios that your patrons, students, or faculty can find very useful to help with their investment research needs. So you go into the library services category on valuelinepro.com. It will show you, again, the different services that you could subscribe to with Value Line. In general, just to give you a little background about Value Line for those who are new to the company or considering purchasing a subscription, we are currently celebrating our 85th year in business, and as I mentioned before, we serve thousands of academic and municipal libraries around the world, not just in the United States. We do offer remote access, so your, again, patrons, students, faculty, whomever the users are, can access the service from anywhere in the world, just simply going through a remote connection on the internet. Services we offer, we provide full support. The webinar you're seeing today can be conducted on a one-to-one basis, meaning one-to-one on a library staff with a specialist here at Value Line, just for your specific library. So we do offer full training and support. We do not patrons directly. We kind of do a train-the-trainer situation where we're going to train the library staff, make sure you are experts in the product, and then allow you to use your skills to support your patrons. However, any questions your patrons might have that you do not know the answers to, you'll be able to simply contact us to find out how to best utilize or answer those questions. Our subscriptions run from 1 to 2 simultaneous users all the way up to unlimited, so we can fit the needs of any size library or system system. Just simply ask us, what the quotes are, and we'll work within your budget to ensure we get you the best subscription at the best price we can. I encourage you, if you don't have our services now, to reach out and take advantage of the 30-day trial that we offer our library customers. And also, if you're a current subscriber, look to add on any additional subscriptions. Of course, you can get 30-day trial runs on any of the subscriptions that we offer as an add-on. So that's my brief background and a little bit of information on the services. I'll conclude with some more information, but let's dive into the product. So if you're looking on your screen, I'm going to click over to the other tab where I am already logged in. I know I'm logged in because if you look on the top right-hand corner, it says Welcome Jason Weisberg. Your library, of course, say welcome with your library's name up there. If it does not say that now for some reason, just let me know if you're a current subscriber, and we'll make sure it says the appropriate welcome message. Dashboard is where you're really going to begin and where you want to guide patrons to. Utilizing this quick links module that's on the screen right here, you'll have access to everything that's colored in blue, such as the VIS current issue that I'm pointing to right here. Any subscriptions that are in gray, such as the Fund Advisor, I do not have access to. And your patrons will know not only by the color, but if you come over here and hold the mouse over something that's gray, it'll tell you that this product is not part of your subscription. Easily identify blue versus gray so you know what you have access to. So one of the most commonly used features obviously is how to quickly get a report. Now you can go through the dashboard to do that, but to start off, what I would recommend is everybody comes to this white box on the top right-hand corner of the screen. It says company name or symbol. Here is simply what you're going to do is what exactly the box is telling you. You're going to click in here, and you're going to either type in the name of the company or the ticker symbol. In this case, I typed in the ticker symbol AAPL, which is the symbol for Apple. Wait till the drop-down menu appears with the company name, then click on the name of that company, and it will load the digital version of the report. That is the quickest way to write to a report, and if you bear with us for a moment, see there's the digital report is coming up now. We're looking at the digital report on Apple. There's a lot of information that we pack onto this screen. We're not going to go through every module or every detail. Again, if you're a current subscriber or prospective subscriber and you would like to learn more, we encourage you to do the one-on-one WebExes with us where we can put every single feature here. But for time's sake, what you're looking at is a digital version that each one of these boxes that you see here, for example, the ones that say ranks, one next to it, it says financial strength rating. Each one of these squares, rectangles, whatever shape they form, these are called modules. Now, while your patron or user is in the system, they can click on the title bar and drag these modules wherever they'd like to see them. And if I scroll down, you'll see I can drag and drop and replace modules in different parts. Now, the library subscription for municipal libraries is what we call a public database, so you will not be able to save any of these changes, but while the user is in their active session, they can customize the screen to make it look however they'd like. If I put my mouse in the title bar of this commentary module, you'll see there's also different options to make it smaller or bigger, or I can click on hide and remove the module altogether. This is just a quick way to kind of take a look at the digital version. Anytime if you see my mouse now in the title bar of the evaluation module, you'll notice there's a box right here with an arrow pointing diagonally. If you see that option, you can click on it and bring that box to the forefront of the screen. Allow the user to refocus on what they're looking at here. Now, keep in mind there's going to be some things you see on the screen. Right now we're looking at a module, and if you notice there's a download and print option. Municipal libraries do not have the download capability, but academic libraries do. There is a lot of data at stake here, and too many patrons coming into a municipal library can download a lot of data, really affecting the performance of the system. So we kind of limit it to an academic setting. So if you do have that download button on your academic library subscription, again right here, that means you can click on it and download any of the data that you see in the module into Excel. If I click the X to return back to the digital report, you'll see all the different modules. Now, one big thing that people like is the digital report is really nice, but a lot of people are used to seeing our PDFs, those one pages, sometimes in the print version you subscribe, or in our previous internet service we had the PDF reports. Well, they're still here, and if you see on your screen, I'm circling on the top right-hand corner here, PDF reports. This is where you would go, or direct a user to go. Simply click on here, and here will be the dates of the most recent report, followed by some historical dates. Now, depending on your subscription, you will see more or less of a module of a PDF report dates. So we do offer a full historical archive subscription, which would take you back to 1997, but we do have the last 13-week standard for all our subscriptions. So in this case, you see the date 4/1/16. Maybe you're saying to yourself, well, how can that be the most recent report if today is June 21st? Keep in mind that Value Line rates on a 13-week cycle for their companies. So Apple was last updated April 1st, 2016. Therefore, the next report on Apple will come out approximately 13 weeks from that date. So while April 1st seems, a while ago, that is the most recent report. And if we just click on the most recent report, up will pop the PDF version of the report, which most of you who are familiar with Value Line are probably familiar with this page. The exact report that comes in the print version is right here, available for download. And this is what most of the library users will come to take with them. It's a nice one-pager that you can just print out from a PDF and take with you. So going back, we have the digital version, and we have the classic PDF or print version, if you'd like to call it that. And if you want to find that on the top right-hand corner of the digital version right here, PDF reports. Let's jump back to the dashboard for a moment, because where the quick links box is, and I want to point out a couple of things that you should really be taking advantage of if you're not already. So every subscription comes with a couple of different things, whether you have the basic or the elite package. All of them come with what's called the selection and opinion report. This is updated every Monday. And this really great report that's been around a long time that a lot of users like, because what it does is exactly what it says. If you click on it, it's a report that's released every Monday that's going to give you our selection and opinion for this week on the economy and the stock market. We're going to give you some commentary. But if you scroll down, there's a lot of good information packed into this weekly report. And if I go to the second page, you're going to see we're going to start to talk about what's called model portfolios. Now, huge benefit that your library offers to your users, because these are portfolios that a lot of professionals use, those advisors at Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch. A lot of those advisors subscribe to Value Line and get access to these same models that a library patron can take advantage of, and that's a really important point. So if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see, starting with the next page, we talk about these four different models. And if you're asking yourself, what is the model? Well, a model is basically a basket of stocks that a certain criteria that our analysts have come up with. So for example, this portfolio number one, we tell you it's really suitable for investors. If you're an aggressive investor and you're looking for a model portfolio to follow, these are the kind of names that you would buy to put into your portfolio. And some of these are household names, and AT&T and McDonald's and Microsoft, names that you've heard. The bonus part of this is that every Monday, if we scroll back a page, we'll give you a little update on the specific portfolio. And here starts the update on Portfolio 1. Tell you whether we bought something, we sold something, we changed something in the portfolio, so your users will always know what's going on. And a lot of professionals, as I stated before, use these models to advise their clients, many of your users, on exactly how to invest their money. It's a great way to see some transparency of what's on in the markets and a nice way to model your own portfolio if you're more of a astute or do-it-yourself kind of investor. Again, this was the selection and opinion report that every subscription has access to that gets updated every Monday morning. Exit out of that, let's go back to some other popular features. Right here under the quick links, the VIS current issue. Now, everybody has access to the investment survey. You have the basic or elite packages. The investment survey comes in everybody's subscription. As a reminder, are these core 1,700 companies that Value Line covers. And if you quickly want to see those companies that were updated this week, every week we update approximately 120 companies out of this core universe. This is the place to go. So Monday, a lot of our really power users who've been with us a long time, they'll come in, they'll click on this recent commentary updates portion of the dashboard, and all the companies, about 120 of them, we're only looking at a couple until I scroll down, but these are the companies that were updated this week. And what's nice is there's a lot of useful things you can do with this screen, especially with the column headings up top. Clicking on any of these column headings, you simply sort it by that column. In this case, I'm sorting the tickers alphabetically. I can go to our timeliness rank, which is really our bread and butter, our C, our financial strength, whatever you'd like to click on, that will sort the list accordingly. And it'll remind the user what you're currently sorting your list in, because heading will become blue here. To give you a quick lesson in our ranking system, for those, hopefully it's a reminder for a lot of you, but for some who may not be familiar, our timeliness is really the bread and butter rank that a lot of investors utilize. That's right here. And you can see there's ones, there's twos, all the way up to fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If something is ranked a 1 and a 2, indication that the company is a good buy over 6 to 12 month time frame. A 1, 2, and a good buy over the next 6 to 12 month time frame. If a company is ranked a number 3 for timeliness, which you'd see some down here, this is that it's really kind of a neutral or hold situation. So if I currently own any of these names, I kind of just want to hold on to them. I don't really want to do anything right now in the next 6 to 12 months. If I'm thinking of buying any of these companies, then I kind of maybe want to hold off a little bit before I make a purchase decision, because it's in that neutral situation, neither a buy or a sell. And as you get to the 4 and the 5s, those indicate a sell scenario. So if I click on the heading again, you can see here's some companies that are ranked 4 and a 5. Indicate to your users that, you know what, if you own these companies, perhaps you want to consider selling them, because over the 6 to 12 months, we're not thinking very highly of their performance. So 4 or 5 would indicate you might want to think about selling if you have it. If you don't own any of these companies and you were thinking about it, it'd be best is to stay away over the 6 to 12 months. Really, what your users, your patrons, your faculty members, your students, what they're using us for at the end of the day is for these decisions on whether to buy, sell, or hold a company. And this ranking system is really what drives all of that. And what you're paying us for is to give this information to users to help them to make those timely investment decisions. So if I jump back to the dashboard, again, we looked at briefly here, the VLIS current issue is a popular one. The selection and opinion is a popular one. If you subscribe to the historical archives, you'll be able to get in those archives back to 1997. If you currently don't have those and are interested in adding those on, again, just contact us. I'll tell you again in a moment how to do that, and we can tell you what it would cost to add that on. Now, in the sake of time, I want to show you another important feature. If you come over to the Find Idea section, right up here, there you're going to find our stock screener. Best place, and if you're looking here on the top, look in this purple bar, right here is the screener. The best place to go to find specific companies that your users are looking for that meet their criteria. So, in my head, I know the industry I like, the some fundamental information that I like on a company, but I want to know what list of companies would meet this list I'm thinking in my head. So really two things you can do. First, ValueLine takes the time and actually goes out and makes screens for your use. So all ValueLine preset screens, such as highest dividend yielding stocks, best performing stocks, conservative stocks ranked a 1 for relative safety. Now, these are really, this is a nice bonus feature because our analysts, they go out there, they create these criteria, they put them together in these lists, and they allow your users to easily come into here, click, say, best performed stocks, we'll go down and conduct the screen, and here we'll go and spit out the list of companies that meet that criteria. See that, this is already a pre-made screen, one that our analysts have come up with that your users can use. Now, let's say that they want to do their own screening. They can come on here, they can hit this reset button right up top, all this out, and then build your own screen. First, if you look over to the left-hand side, you'll see these are all different fields, and there's a few hundred of them. If you scroll down, to the left here, it keeps going, It changes from gray to white. That just means we need to click on the arrow and expand that category. But there's a field that you can screen on. If I click on one, say, industry, and then another that says stock price, and then I scroll down and I find the ValueLine proprietary, our technical rank, our timeliness rank, let's use, so we'll stick on that since I started talking about it. Here's 3 different criteria that I ask the screen to go out and find for me. And now all I need to do is start telling it what to look for. So here's number 1, here's 2, and here's 3 different levels of criteria. They're what's called cumulative matches. So as we go through different levels, these numbers will change. So, for example, I'm interested in the automotive industry. Okay, well, that's going to start out and say, well, in the ValueLine universe, we have 15 companies that match the automotive industry. The same 15 companies are showing up because we maximized. This means we're pulling in everything. So to my second tier here, stock price, and I drag this bar over from left to right. We're going to change the range of the stock price, and you've noticed we've gone from level 1 of 15 companies to level 2 of 3 companies. And finally, if we come down here in timeliness rank and click on, say, a 3, it'll have 1 company matches what I'm looking for. I asked it for 1 step of criteria, 2 steps of criteria, and finally 3, and ultimately I came out with 1 company. And this company that meets what I'm looking for in an investment, ValueLine told me exactly what that company was based on my own criteria. So the screener is a great way to take our universe of 1,700, 3,500, or 6,000 companies, depending on what you subscribe to, and really narrowing it down to a really small and targeted list. And again, that's the screener that you can find under the Find Idea section. After the user is done, the screener will, when they get out of their session, the screener will empty and it will not be saved for the next user, so the next user can come in and use it from scratch. So the thing I want to end off, I see we're getting a little long on time here. So let's go to this Browse Research option, because I want you to see what's under Browse Research. And if I click on Browse Research, this is a great place to go to see a whole bunch of different things, okay? First, from a library's subscription perspective, while I'm in my active session, The system is going to remind me of all those companies that I've recently searched. In other words, that I clicked on in red. Okay, two up here that I've done during this session. One right before we started, and then Apple that we looked at together. If I scroll a little lower, you'll see down here, we're going to have Value Line's going to have featured lists. Okay, this option is not in libraries, so I don't want to confuse you, but I'm logged in as a professional, but so you don't have the save list features. But this featured list section is available, and what the users will look at. These are the predefined screens like I showed you. They can quickly go to, or they can go to certain industries right here and quickly say, I want to see all the companies in the beverage industry, and it pops the information. And if you remember, anytime you're in a screen that looks like this, you can do sorting, you can do a whole bunch of different things. So before I go over to the questions, I want to end off with the investment education section, which is here, investigation. If you click on here, there's a lot of good online support tools for your users. What I would do is I would go right to the tools and guides. But the glossary is also nice. If you have some, let's say, beginner investors who don't know what some of the terms mean, the glossary is very helpful. But the guides will show you kind of what I already showed you during this presentation. For example, how to use the screener tool. Click on this PDF. It'll take you step by step on how to use the screener and build the criteria to do what I showed you. So the tool guides is a great place to go. There's also some videos that you can watch. Right here's our video library. If you're looking at the screen, just to show you, here's our video library. How to read a Value Line report. If you're new to report, it could be a little overwhelming at times. This will show you how to read a Value Line report. Finally, before I get to the questions, which I see there's a few, I just want to remind you how to get additional help questions with us. So if you go to valuelinepro.com, which I'll jump back over here, and bottom right-hand corner, there's a Contact Us, which you find right here. What you do is just simply click on that, and you have two options. You can fill out this brief form and ask a question, or you can give us a call during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, and to speak to you. This is right into the Value Line institutional hotline. Keep in mind, as an institutional client, you do not have to use our standard customer service. You have a special hotline right into the institutional desk that we can take your question directly for you. And if you do end up filling this form, it goes right to an institutional specialist, and we'll get back to you just as quickly. Note, let's jump back and let's see a couple of questions that we have here. Give me one moment. When I mentioned the welcome message says welcome IS. Is there any way we could offer wireless and alerts to our individual students? So on the alerts feature, there isn't a way you can have alerts. It's still a public database. So to set up alerts, you need to have your own license, your own subscription per se, because if you set up alerts, it has to be tied to an individual subscription. The fact that library subscriptions are more like public databases doesn't allow us to be able to set up alerts at this time. I'm going to ask, how do we unhide a module? That's a good question. If I go in here and let's just quickly pull up a report, looking at the digital version of the report, and I go here and I click on hide, if it's this gray bar right here, now look on the right-hand side, I'm going to circle it right here. Follow this bar to me right there. As I scroll down, that bar follows us. If you go to that gray bar, it has all the modules that are currently hidden right here. Unhide any of them, you just simply come here, on it, and would add it back to the very bottom of the report, and then you can take it and place it wherever you'd like. Unhide a module, this little gray bar that follows us as we scroll, and module. Up here, do work for mutual funds. So the mutual funds, I can give you a real quick introduction here. If you go back to the dashboard and I go to the quick links box, right here is mutual funds. So you want the Fund Advisor Plus is the one we really offer to libraries these days. By clicking on the Fund Advisor Plus, that loads the mutual funds database. There's a couple different things you can do. Every month, we put a special report out and talk about the economy and stock market, kind of like the selection and opinion section. And then through, we highlight some funds each month that users could read through and see if these funds work for them. But what we also do is, if I go back, you could also use the screener right here, allow you to sift through the universe of mutual funds. There's about 20,000 of them in our database. And this screener looks a little different than the equity screener, but we also have some preset screens like we do for equities. You can simply come in here and type a name. You can come into a drop-down box and look at specific objectives. So if I put in income, I put a specific family of funds I'm looking for. I'll try advanced capital, click on search, and meet that criteria. So let me just take out the name, just income funds. See, these are all the mutual funds that are income objective. So mutual funds, we could offer, a nice screener, and then once they find the funds they want, they would click on the fund and then really dive in here for a bunch of different information on the mutual fund itself. Here's the companies that make up that mutual fund, and here's all the different tabs that you can find information on for mutual funds. Let's see. Individual user and academic libraries save their screener and watch these over time. So you cannot. So an academic and a municipal library are the same in the sense that they are both public databases, so there is no customization allowed. Again, we sell libraries simultaneous user licenses. So what they'll do is they'll buy 3, 5, 6, or unlimited users, but that's just to allow a certain number of people on the system at the same time. We have no way of knowing who, meaning that is John Smith, and he can create a profile and save watch lists. That isn't the way the library subscriptions work for us. But while a user is in the system, they can certainly customize screens, run any reports, do anything they like. But as soon as they leave that session, they're going to lose those settings. All right, one final question. Is there any way our library administrator and the academic library can hide options that are not available to our students? On the quick link module, I didn't notice any wording that would tell students that items listed in gray are not available. So going back to the dashboard, if something is in gray and hold your mouse over it like I am right now, you will see it pop up a message. This product is not part of your subscription. Now, we are working on, in one of our next releases, to hide things altogether that won't be included in your subscription. Right now, our feedback has been a little bit of both. Have some options there that are in gray so you can see what we have is one side of the story, and then the other is, hide it completely. So we're trying to fit in all these requests, and as we continue to enhance the product, we try to take, what the majority wants at the moment and try to enhance the product that way. I ran a couple minutes longer than I liked. I just want to thank you again for your time. As a reminder, please go to ValueLinePro.com and the Contact Us page to follow up with any questions I might not got a hold of. I want to thank you if you're a current customer for your business. And if you're a prospective customer, please take advantage of the 30-day free trial. Also, if you're a current customer and want to add on something like the mutual funds or historical archives, we can give you a 30-day trial look at any add-on products as well. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and please contact us if there's anything else we can do for you. Have a good afternoon.